It's Berlin, 1 round and 4 deals. I continue developing my new student. He already has green belt. Maybe I'll change the backs of tiles. And I see green belt around me, green belts. Players with green belts around me. I hope I'll take this table. Yes, they consider me some novice. But as you may know, I am not so novice for this game. And what about this hand? It can be something like pure straight. But for pure straight, I'll need 4 or 6 cracks from the wall. 5 cracks came, and I now can think, yes. Let's see. What can be my eyes? Something in BAMs. Yes, I'm waiting for BAMs for my eyes. I need also 4 cracks. 4, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The opposite player collects half flush. An obvious plan. And I can discard dots somewhat safely for now, at least. The player to my right needs to be careful because she can feed some dots to the opposite, to the player to her right. What about 8? Somebody has great. Somebody has pair of 8s and doesn't want to meld the Kong. To meld Punk, sorry. No, Kong, because I have this last 8. 6. Not very useful for me. I'll discard it. I don't need this 6. Another 4. What about these 4s? How that happens? Aha. Not a pung. Very nicely. Now, I can win either with 4 or with the last 7. Yes. Never forget about last tile. I melded the first 7. Sorry, the player to my left melded the first 7 and I took it for a chow. This was the second 7. I can win with 4 cracks, making a pure straight, which brings me 16 points. That's the best outcome. But if I see the last 7, I can take it from discard. What about taking it from discard? Yes, 3 dots. She waited for 3, 6. Okay, not a very expensive hand. Half flush is not expensive in MCR. It's worse to feed into half flush in Ricci or in Junyun, but MCR, it's just a cheap hand which can be fed easily. Don't be afraid of feeding into half flush. It's worse when a player takes this half flush from the wall. Now, I can take mixed shifted chows, but I don't need this pair of eights. I'd better take 5, 6, 7 bams, 6, 7, 8 dots. I'll leave 7, 8, 9 cracks. And it can be also all types, but I have only one green. I can take Pangov souths, but I'll need also eyes in with greens, for example. Eyes in greens or eyes in threes. Or maybe it will be just mixed shifted chows with Pangov souths without greens at all. It depends on what I take. Okay, let's discard green. Now, if I take 7 bams now from discard, I make ready hand, concealed ready hand for mixed shifted chows. I'm waiting for this 7. It will be mixed shifted chows and concealed hand. And you see, I have green belt. I'm already past the rating of 10. And I'm offered false mahjongs, you see. With that 7 dots I couldn't win because it would be false mahjong without structure. I would lose 60 points. You must be careful when you make green belt, because you'll start receiving false offers, false offerings for mahjong, and that's not a thing you need to declare. Fours. I can win with the last 4 from the wall. Fully concealed hand and the last tile. That's it. But only with the last one. If I take 4 bams from the wall now, it will be fully concealed hand, shot straight, and that's it. Nothing else. 4 cracks goes to the opposite. Another half flush in cracks, this time. And where is my 7? Where is my 7? 1 discarded. That's an ideal case, because nobody will conceal it in a Kong, and I hope that not everyone needs this 7. The opposite player obviously doesn't need 7 bams because she's collecting half flush. I didn't consider collecting pure shifted chows or pure straight because I didn't take any 1 dots, and as you can see, all 1s discarded. She wasn't ready. She wanted full flush, but she wasn't ready. And the player to my left tried to take knitting. Okay. I took just not a very expensive hand, but from the first place. I am now close to her. And this is a very interesting thing. Maybe I'll collect full flush, but let's wait. I don't want to discard 4-5 right now. I'll discard 9 dots and 2 dots. I can make mixed shifted chows with this hand. 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9. I need 3, 7, and 9. And I can take them from discard, from the left. But maybe it will also be full flush. Let's hope for full flush now. Not an easy hand, of course. What about taking 2, 3, 4? 4, 5, 6. Okay. 4, 5, 6. But it won't be pure shifted chows as I planned. 3, 4, 5 it is. I didn't want to take 2, 3, 4 because I'd leave that 5 corrects almost isolated. But the player to my right collects all types possibly. You see, she discarded green first of all, but took pung of reds. And what about her winds? She possibly needs east. You see, wests are out of the game, souths as well. North she discarded. Only east remains alive. And I'd like to see it on the table, so I'll be sure that she takes. Okay. Good. I take safe tiles. You see, she doesn't need 6s, 4, and possibly 5 she doesn't need as well. Maybe she's waiting for 3 bams, 2 bams. Good. 5 is safe. I'm now waiting for 6 or 9 cracks, and then 3 or 4 cracks. The opposite player meanwhile collects something curious like middle tiles. At least it looks like mixed triple chow. Yes. Very nice. Pure shifted chows with step 1. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. Very great. Nice. It's mine? Yes, it's mine. Good. 43 points. Full flush, pure shifted chows, all chows, and shot straight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cracks made shot straight. Cool. I don't collect full flush every day. And that's our last deal. So I fed into half flush to the opposite, then took pure mixed shifted chows, then took an expensive hand with full flush and pure shifted chows, and now I'm afraid only of someone's self. For example, the opposite player may collect an expensive self and return to the first place. And I have to prevent it. What about my hand now? Mixed straight or mixed shifted chows, you can see. And I'd better go for the quickest, for the most quick hand here. I hope I won't be stuck with seven BAMs. I need now 7 BAMs and 7 cracks. You see? 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. Mixed shifted chows, eyes and sixes, and either bung of ones or chow 1, 2, 3 cracks for my fourth set. So the most useless style here is 4. I can take bung of ones, I can take chow 1, 2, 3, and I don't need 4 cracks because I don't need 2, 3, 4 or 4, 5, 6. That's it. The opposite player collects cracks. Okay, I can hold bung of 6 as my fourth set and eyes in ones, because I'll be waiting either in an edge, either in an edge or in the middle. So it will give me another point, and I'll collect 8 points. The opposite player may hold my 7s. I hope I'll pick at least 1 7 cracks. But I'll be content if the player to my right will win. If the player to my right wins, it will be well enough, because she'll hardly make the first place, even from the wall. And I take it from the second place, from my follower. Good. 3 hands I collected. Let's take a look. The player to my left collected some chows or pairs. I don't understand. Sorry, why she discarded 4? 3, 4. She discarded. Maybe she just didn't play. Maybe she just left the table. I didn't notice. She discarded good tiles. I don't understand. Sorry, I have no other explanation than leaving the table. The opposite player half flush with possible dragons. By the way, she discarded 4 and she planned to discard 9. For example, to make ready hand for little 3 dragons. That's it. That was not a good hand for me, for my plans to live on the first place. To remain in the first place, yes. She could discard 9. She could take bung of reds, discard 9, and make ready hand for little 3 dragons. What about reds? I discarded 1 red, and that's all. Another red was in the wall, you see. The player to my right wanted a very good hand, wanted all middles. For example, middle tiles, she takes 6 cracks. She couldn't take it because all 6s were in hands, but let's imagine, just imagine. She takes 6, discards 1, and wins, for example, with 4 dots from the wall, which couldn't happen, of course, but theoretically 24, mixed double chow 25, 27 for tile hog, mixed, double punk, simply double fang, 29, self 30, 30 from the wall, 38 from each player, and 114, 114 plus minus 75. No, she couldn't make the first place. Even with this expensive hand from the wall, she couldn't get to the first place, so I didn't bother about her hand. And I took this 7 from the player that collected half flush in another suit. That's it. Thanks all.